Dealing with a toxic workplace, disability and personal injury lawyer Nainesh Kotak joins us to talk about your options if it's impacting your mental health. And the big thing is documenting.
Absolutely. You know, every time we go to the doctor, they make a note about what you say. So it's very important if you're going through challenges, including mental health challenges, that you do report that, because not only can they help you, but it would be important if the claims are made later on. Look, toxic workplace, it's a big issue for many people. And essentially, these are places of work marked by significant interpersonal conflict, and usually it tends to be an office environment. Some of the telltale signs include bullying, rumors and gossip where you're sort of a target of that, and also really if the expectations are entirely unreasonable in terms of what you need to get done. These are some of the common signs that you see, and when your concerns are simply ignored. And I often, advise people, look, the first step would be try to deal with the employer. If you're able to, talk to your supervisor. Now, the problem is if your supervisor is the person causing that, then maybe go to HR, and that kind of works in bigger corporations. But in where there's, where you're at banks and maybe it's kind of regimented, or a small employer, it may be difficult. There may not be a way to sort of lodge a complaint, and ultimately, then you may have to make that decision what course of action you're going to take. Often the toxic work environment actually is the cause of the disability. It triggers anxiety and depression, but sometimes, as we know, 1 in 5 Canadians will suffer from a mental health challenge during the course of their life, and it may well be there was a childhood issue or a marriage-related issue, and you're able to sort of get through that, but then the toxic workplace comes along and you relive all that trauma. So, we do see situations where people simply, they can't cope and they can't work. And then often they apply for disability claims, and they need to have the cooperation of their doctor. One of the most important things, Annette, is to seek treatment. And
this is before you make a claim?
Before and during, because most disability policies, in fact, have a requirement that you need to be undergoing the recommended treatment for your particular disorder. And we know, unfortunately, with the stigma that's still there arising, with mental health related issues, sometimes people don't get the treatment that they should, or they don't report. So my advice would be definitely, get treatment from the family doctor, exhaust the EAP, which is the employer assistant health programs, and get therapy. And if there's medication prescribed, then you ought to take that, because it could help. And also it's important to use that in terms of documentation to say that I'm doing what I can, and that will actually support the disability claim itself.
Okay, and you come in if that's denied. And we're seeing so many people, if you, during the pandemic, if you worked from home and realized, hey, that whole problem kind of disappeared, and now you're being asked to come back in. So you're seeing an increase in this.
Absolutely. So yes, I would say during the pandemic, it was less prevalent. People, sort of worked at their own pace from home, and the interaction with others would be by emails and maybe the occasional Zoom call or phone call, right? But now, when people are really, a lot of people are back in. There's some people who are doing sort of a hybrid, but a lot of people are back in. They're they're dealing with the interpersonal conflict that they may have had before, and they're not used to it. So we are seeing more and more of these types of cases. Remember one thing, the Ontario Human Rights Code just, it covers discrimination on disability, which would include mental health disabilities. So if somebody is being discriminated against because of their mental health condition, they would have a valid claim with the Human Rights Tribunal as well, and potential actions against the employer too.
Okay, so speak out, get help, document.
You got it.
Okay, Nainesh, thanks very much. We'll get all your links up on our website, chch.com.